Hey, I did get an email back from the lady who may be the general office administrative manager, maybe, for Le Greffe de Gatineau. Sounds weird, Le Greffe. I won't say La Greffe. Anyways, um, because I did film a video, a recording of me calling her office. She was busy at the time. Poor lady, though, eh? Like, she probably is told to make the case of me go away. How does she do that? How do you make the captain accountability go away unless you murder accountability? and they're on their way there in Quebec by willingly all losing the French word for accountability, but still, I'm not that easy to get rid of. Even if you try to medicate me for things I don't need. So she said in her reply she's reviewing emails. My case against Le Greffe de Gatineau isn't specifically mentioned in emails. I did do vlogs where I present some of my arguments against CISSSO, but my arguments versus Le Greffe de Gatineau that now must happen before CISSSO, I haven't really offered that yet. I mean, it's pretty obvious. I mean, there's 3 or 4 things that they must explain as very big failures that aren't hard to understand. Are big barriers towards my case against CISSSO. So I filmed this recording of me calling her offices from a borrowed phone with a witness, and that's when I finally heard from her, and she may have gotten my emails the whole time. Even when she said I didn't hear back from you after a month, when I had answered her a couple of days after, I think, or the day after the last one. She might have just missed it or thought it'd be a while before I answered and then assume when she was ready to look it wasn't there. Anyways, this is who you get, people, in your proto-societies. I want to say also with soldiers and psychiatrists, not just lawyers or judges or people that work in the legal system, is it creates kind of blindfolds, like rose-colored glasses. Like if you're a soldier and you want to do a career as a soldier, is you have to believe in war, you have to believe in rank and elitism and status, and if you're a psychiatrist, you have to believe in mental illness, and you can't cure people quickly or easily, or you have to specialize in labeling people or diagnosing people. You're not about helping them. So in a way, I could mention against CISSSO a doctor that was just quoted really years later by the one I had in BC when I mention and offer answers honestly, and they think, oh, aha, now I know what to do. He answered honestly, so I'm going to regurgitate what another psychiatrist said, because, they only have time for one appointment to work these miracles about diagnosing people that we believe is so bad they'll never really get a life. Well, that same psychiatrist was treating a member of my family a long time, and I got to say they failed. They failed at making that person better, and that person didn't have unsolvable issues, actually not that complex to solve, but you got to be within a system, and the system is mostly created by the attitudes and behavioral patterns, almost like the personality disorder of being a psychiatrist, creates toxicity in these things. So, oh yeah, no, he was a really nice guy, this Quebec psychiatrist I'm talking about. Like, I think that's why he did an entire career. Most people like him because he's generally a nice, calm, older fella. But did he make progress in healing people in the right way about the right things, where he listened enough that he could understand somebody outside of his diagnostic manual, which is about referencing the norm, and the norm was already wrong about those things. So, because, for example, if that relative of mine, let's say, had somebody they went to high school with that became a counselor and they stayed very good friends and offered free guidance and services as a counselor was trying to help, then my relative would be in much better shape than having had for decades that psychiatrist. That's pretty easy for me to see with my expertise at this point, having not just taken training, but worked in the industry of mental health and addictions. I mean, do soldiers want the wars to end? That's their life. It's about winners and losers, and legal system is about you're the good guy or you're the bad guy, or And doctor, psychiatrist says, well, if you're not a clone of me, I'm going to diagnose you. That's pretty much it. And in the legal system, well, they're going to be surprised, just like in the medical and every other industry, is they're going to be meeting their first Homo sapien pretty soon.